All right. So I'm going to go into my connection again, and I will paste the connection over here. And in here, it will ask me to have some header. So if you're going to go into this one, I will see that the header is rewriting two fields like authorization and location ID. So what I'm going to do is I will copy this one. I'm going to add a new header, paste, and I'm going back to this one. I'm adding a new copy, paste here. Okay, this token is the token that we just create over here. I will copy this one. I'm going back. I paste here. I will add one more header because this one asking me two. So I will choosing the location ID, copy, and I paste here. For the location ID, I need to go into my GoHighLevel account. And in here, this ID after the location is actually the ID that we need. So we copy this one and we paste here. All right, if everything goes well, then we can connect and it say connected. Let's go back to our agent. Edit agent and add this agent. Let's choosing the MCP that we just created today. Add this one. All right, the tools show up. But let's just make sure. So I'm going to copy this one. I will new chat and I will just tell it. Okay. Hopefully that this route the connection is fixing and we can make it properly. Okay. Can you get list of my conversation? Internet marketing, right? Can you show us the schedule feature? Okay. Yeah, I will go to that a bit later. All right. So in here, so it means the agent having ability to see my conversation, and there's some open conversation in here as well. So let me go into GoHighLevel, and I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to conversation. So if you go in here, you will see that there's a CRM, and there's a lot of conversation that happen back and forth between the agent and myself. So the last message from the agent is, "Hey Sean, thank you for reaching out. Appreciate your interest in solution, blah, blah, and blah, blah." So I'm going to using my phone in order to reply to this message from agent and see what happened. Okay. So I see that there is a new conversation in here already, but I will not respond to that. I'm going to ask my agent to do that for me. Okay. So I'm going to go into this agent. So I have one agent before. So this is test MCP agent. So I have some instruction to this agent. So this is like when user press start, fetch open email, identify conversation, need to respond. And this is some response rule and also some template to respond as well and response trigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this MCP. I'm going to add the MCP that I just created just now, which is the GoHighLevel MCP 22 of July. I add this one, add here, and I click save. And I was just go into here and I will just say, all right, so there is some open conversation in here. So let's try the second part. All right, so the agent is actually using the GoHighLevel MCP in order to respond on my behalf. So let's go into this one and see. Okay. So this is the reply that replied by the agent themselves. So the agent is going to reply and appreciate interest and also going to answer some of the question in here. So basically, if you can make it correctly, then when you are pressing start, it will fetch over here all of the action that you already covered. I'm not sure why current today is 4.0 mini is not follow the instruction. Perhaps that the same degrade on OpenAI. We will need to test further on this part. Okay, let me show you the next one. Next one is on the AgenticFlow MCP. We also wait, before that, let's talk about growth. So if you notice in here, you will see that there is a new action, which is growth. So growth is a provider, growth.com. So growth is kind of like a infrastructure provider that they are hosting different AI model. And what's cool from them is that they are very fast. So it means, for example, like Kimi and so on, they can reach to 200 token per second. So let me give you an example of why this is very huge. If you go into Open Router and you search for Kimi, you will see that there's a lot of like company is doing this one, and most of the throughput of them is like 70, 80, or even like 30. Firework is only 80, but Grok is like totally different reach already. So is it like 7 times or 8 times faster? Even Moonshot AI, which is the owner of Kimi, they are also very slow comparing to Grok. So Grok is ultra fast, and because of the Kimi is also very cheap as well, comparing to Sonnet and so on. So you can using Kimi as a replacement for Sonnet, which is like much cheaper price. We already integrated Grok into here, so you can go into connection, and then you can see there is a Grok item in here, and you just need to add a connection in here. The base URL we already create for you, so you just need to get a key from Grok, and then you can use their models, or you can using Grok's Kimi in AgenticFlow. So the Kimi K2 instruct, this one is actually powered by Grok, and it will use your PixelML Open Router key in order to experiment. I think right now we are having some bug that causing some error in here, but as I tested earlier today, it is working well, and it is super fast, and I strongly suggest that you should do it. So because when you are building with Grok on Kimi, and this is just super fast that you don't want to go back into the model. Okay, I will just paste here so that we can have the idea about it. All right, next one, I'm going to talk about AgenticFlow MCP servers, or let's say it is agent mode or Mia Copilot. So this one actually coming from the request. So let's come back into our roadmap. Here you go into roadmap, and you will see that there is some in-house agent copilot. So this one is having a long discussion. This is we and Alvin. Alvin is also here. So we were talking about this 2 months ago, and this is not a small request for Mia. So we have asked mode already, where Mia can answer your question. But until now, Mia not yet have ability to create workflow for you, edit workflow for you, submit, or even debug based on the engine. Right now, today, we are taking the first step that allowing Mia having the agent capability. So in order to do this one, we are exposing AgenticFlow as a MCP servers. Let me just drop this one down. Okay. So introducing AgenticFlow MCP servers. So what does it mean by AgenticFlow MCP servers? Let me show you how this works and in a minute. Okay. I will switch the Discord into a new screen. Change screen as a Windows. Not this one. Switch this one. Okay, which screen are you using? Okay, you should see Claude now. And let me go into YouTube, and we'll change on the YouTube as well. Stop this one, change to Claude. Alright, so everyone should be able to see my Claude in here already. So this is a project in Claude. So this is Claude Desktop that you have. So in here, I do some of the project knowledge. So in here, I was doing some of the project instruction. I was telling that you are an expert in AgenticFlow automation, blah, blah, and blah, blah. And there's some of the configuration in here. I will share this with you so that you can configure yourself later. That's okay. And also in here, I equip some of the knowledge, like the list of MCP, the documentation, the node type. But most importantly, I equip AgenticFlow MCP to Claude. So this MCP is having 13 tools. It's including list, search, create workflow, get workflow, update, delete, list workflow, validation, list app, delete app, and health checks. So let me show you how it works. So for example, I need to do some kinds of like workflow on my side. I'm going to kind of like, let me go into string.com. I think string.com is kind of like a competitor, right? And they have a lot of item. Okay, for example, like, okay, so I'm going to back to Copilot. I just paste here. So build an agent that monitor my email inbox for new email. Use AI to determine the context of the email. And in case there is an email important nature, draft a response and save as to reply at draft form. All right, so we are going to using Claude Sonnet for this one. But you can use Opus as your choice. So I think ChatGPT might also support MCP as well, but I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not quite sure. But basically, that MCP can be using by any client. So as you can see in here, my agent, which is Mia Copilot, actually powered by Claude, is actually starting to work on the task. So it will start to do some kinds of like list node, search node, and then it will search some of the node type. So instead of like you are trying to build everything from yourself, you can use Claude and with AgenticFlow MCP in order to build it. So it is like a next level of Mia Copilot, switching between like just answering question in order to build something that meaningful and reliable. So as you can see in here, while we are talking, Mia, powered by Claude, is actually doing the workflow for us. To be honest, this prompt I had never tried before, so I don't even know whether it works or not working. But yeah, let's see if it's working or not. Because we also equip some of the tool so that the agent can do validation and also create a workflow on your behalf. So when it's figure it out or it's having some error, it will show the error so that the agent can do some correction as well. And today is July 2025. And the model is pretty good already. So it can sort of like fix tough stuff and doing things pretty well. All right. It's doing a lot already. So let's see if it's done. So after create the workflow solution in this one, it will start to do the next step, which is create workflow. So, okay. So it will doing some this one. It will trying to execute. And then there's some status. All right. So I create intelligent blah, blah. This is the workflow ID. And this is the architecture. It will simulate the email fetch, pass email, and doing some stuff. So, and also this is some part replace email simulation, set up email integration like Gmail using this one, Outlook, IMAP, add new receiving, and so on, blah, blah, and blah, blah. All right, so Sonnet is finished. So let me go back into my AgenticFlow, and I would like to see whether it is creating anything in my workspace. I'm going to back here. Okay, I saw something, but let me search on the YouTube because I think someone on YouTube would like to see that as well. I will stop sharing, and I will share again on Windows. All right, let's go back into this one. So this is the workflow that created by unknown. Actually, it's creating via API of the Claude. So if you click in here, you see that all of the workflow have been created. So in here, Claude was trying to using Claude Haiku in order to do some of the work and pass some email data, important analysis, filter important email, generating draft response, format draft email client, and save draft. So this one is simulated, but you can always replace that with run MCP action. And in here, you're just choosing the Gmail that you already have. I think I have my Gmail somewhere here. Okay. For example, this one. And I just select this one and I will say create a draft. And the instruction is, I just copy from this one. And I just paste here. And I save. For this one, we would just copy this and save and run MCP action. I'll remove the simulated because technically we don't need it. And save on this one. And we can delete this one. So basically, after you finish the JSON and also fix all of the connection, you should have a workflow that should runnable. You also need to check on the output as well to see what it does. Yeah, cool. All right. There's some error in here, some of the part that doesn't work. So at the moment, we are exposing the MCP for you to play around with. But eventually, what is going to happen? So in here, the build with chat, so it will work exactly the same way with just Claude just does. So basically, it will be able to knowing where you are at the moment, like which workflow that you are doing, and then it will be able to modify the workflow for you, update the workflow for you, and edit the workflow for you. So that is the new capability that we're exposing the AgenticFlow MCP server in order to show you in the Claude and how can you leverage from that. So in order to set this up and so on, I will show you how you can set it up in Claude so that you can even try it yourself at home. So firstly, you need to go into your Claude in here. And then you need to go into setting. In setting, there will be a developer. So in here, there will be a edit config action. This edit config option will brought up a new screen where you can copy and paste. So it will open this screen. I will open this as a text edit, and I will share to everyone. How can I share this one to everyone? Okay. In here, I can share on stream. Let me add one more windows. Okay, you should see this one. Okay, so this is the Claude Desktop config.json. So this is the configuration that you should put into your MCP server. So I will just copy this one and I will paste that into our Discord chat. So in this one, there will be some section including like bearer and so on. So this is your tokens. And the workflow and the workspace ID is your workspace ID. So I just paste here. So if you have this one in your website, then you will be able to interacting with your AgenticFlow workspace very easily. So for example, like you go into this one, API key. So I have an API key that I already created just now. I think everyone should see that already. So I will delete, but you can always create a new API key and you select test MCP API key. And when you have this key, you copy that key and you go back into the text edit and you replace this one with your key. Okay. Just delete this one, space after bearer and paste here. And for the workspace ID, what you need to do is you need to go into the agent and there will be an ID in here from this one until this one. You just copy and then you go back into this one. You replace this in here and save that. And then you just restart your Claude and it should able to attack your AgenticFlow MCP into the Claude as well. So this is not only working in the Claude, but also you can even you can create an agent in AgenticFlow. So your own copilot. So for example, instead of you are using Claude, you can even create an agent in AgenticFlow, but with access to this MCP server in order to gain the access and help you to modify as well. So I will show you how to do it. So you go into connection, you go into MCP client connection, you create a connection. So this one is AgenticFlow MCP server. Make sure that you're using the transport is stream over HTTP. For the URL, you're choosing the one that I share with you, which is this URL. the AgenticFlow.ai/MCP, this MCP. For a header, you add header and you add authorization. And for the header bearer, you just copy this bearer token. And then you're replacing your token with this one. This is my token, but your token may be different. So you add in header in here, and then you create a workspace ID. And finally is the workspace ID. All right. So after you have this AgenticFlow MCP server, then actually you have everything you need in order to create your own Copilot. So you go into MCP and you select that MCP that you just create. What is the name of that? Okay, AgenticFlow MCP Server. Click Add. All right, so you can see the AgenticFlow MCP Server is actually recognizable by AgenticFlow itself, so that you can create your own Copilot on this part. So I will just add here, and I click Save. But in order to make this more interesting, I'm going to using prompts. So I'm going to Mia Copilot. I have my prompt in here. I just copy the entire prompt of this one and go back in here. I paste here. So this is the prompt that technically I'm using in Claude, but in here, because we are talking together, I'm just creating this one. So technically, I already have my MCP server and I have the prompts already. So I'm going to tell my agent that I need something. Let's see if it can help me to build it. For example, like brand monitoring. Let's copy this one and then go in here and paste. Yeah, let's see if the agent that I built in AgenticFlow can use our MCP to create another workflow or not. All right. So there is some question from internet marketing, right? So I will copy this one, and I'm going back to my Claude, and I say, I want to create an agent that can do Facebook ad libraries, scrap, highlight performing ads, send me creative and landing page copies. So I just send, and then let's see what the agent come up with. PCman is actually 269 line. You can download the entire message.txt. It should have everything. Yeah, so for internet marketing, so if you set up your Copilot correctly, then it will be able to starting to build. Okay, I'm glad that you got it. Yeah, so the beautiful way of like using Claude Desktop is that you don't have to pay for token, because Claude is already free. And also, wait, if you would like to using their project, then you have to pay them like $20 per month. But I guess that most of everyone should have it if you are using this for your business. So I think this is something that you can set up, and it will help you to create a comprehensive workflow. It will able to using AgenticFlow create workflow API in order to create that workflow and debug if there is some error. In here, as you can see, it is starting to create, and if we wait for the feedback from our server in order to see if it's working or not working. Yeah, let's wait. What is the feedback from the servers on this? Yeah, let me show you. So, although that this one is technically we don't need path version in order to using MCP, but the project is only available when you have the pet account. So that's why you can set up the like a system prompt in the instruction of the project, and then you can upload some of the material like your workflow and so on. So it will help you to understand this one. But basically, if you don't want to do that, you can totally just copy the entire system prompt that I share with you, and then equip the MCP to the Claude, and it can performing the same. So project is just help you to don't need to create a system prompt over and over again. Yeah, it will try to create a workflow in here. It was saying it's created successfully, and this is an ID. Is it true? Let me go into my agent and see if there's some Facebook ad in here. Oh, okay. So it has in here. So with the new key, it's actually able to connect into my key. and it's create. So from one prompt, actually it go and create all of the workflow. Let me see what it's doing here. So it going to it is using the web scraping using API 5. Okay, this is good. So it will search add library, active status all, and own country. Wow, where is this coming from? I have no idea. And this is using like LM, like Ask Claude, to doing some of the performance analysis, extract structured add data. It will using another web scraping with API 5 to scrap landing page. This one is using JSON to Google Sheet in order to output Google Sheet. It is using the send email in order to send. And in the output, is using like add report. It's getting the data from the inside. Structured data is getting from here, Google Sheet URL, and paste inside. All right, so basically it. So this is something that you can using the AgenticFlow MCP server in order to pass your UI on this part. So this is still quite new. We still need to improve it because what we are going to do is we will incorporate the AgenticFlow MCP server side by side inside the workflow builder, so that you don't need to do some kind of like configuration like what I just did with Claude. You can use this as just like click on build chat and then chat with the agent. And my vision is that it will be able to modify the right hand side as a copilot, true copilot with you. It can do some search on the node on the MCP and doing some of the node and building even some like fixing some of the issue and bug with you. It can take a bit of time until we fully realize that vision, but we are getting there. Okay, let's go back into this one. So we go through a lot of part already. So we are going to do a multi-agent new UI workforce. Okay, let me show you how we are having that. So this is hidden in here. So we have a multi-agent. Oh, this account doesn't have any multi-agent. Let me switch to another account, sorry. So if you go back in here and you go into agent, so this is, we still in development, so we're not yet here, but this is the workforce that you are going to have. And when you click on into the workforce, you will see that there will be a new UI where we have the new ability, which is we can configure the trigger, we can configure the supervisor, we can configure the sub-agent, and in we are having some of the UI that, for example, like which one is working? We are still in development on that. So you can see it is under different path and the ID is totally different. So what it have is going to receive the trigger from the either is it going to be user message, or it can be a workflow trigger, or is it going to be a webhook, and then it will directly into different agent as a node in here. So you basically you can add multiple agent as a kind of like a node in a graph, and then you can technically map them together. And it's just like a workflow, but consists of multi of the agent. So when the trigger is in, we have the supervisor. The supervisor will split the task into multiple agent, and the multiple agent, they can kind of like map into the different agent underneath of them. And in this one, you can see in here, when I click on this one, it's going to be the connection type. Connection type is allow you to configure the condition. So the condition is here. It can have two types, AI condition or the normal condition. So condition is kind of like a code base. So you can like if, else, and so on, so that it can refer into some of the variable in order to decide whether it's going to go through this branch or not. Or AI condition is kind of like LM monitoring use case, where you have the agent that's going to do the branching and so on like that. So I think right now this is the error, but basically you will see the all of the run history that the entire multi-agent system is running. And if you click on one run, it will show like whatever on the left hand side showing, it will show in that sequence. Like you are going to receive a trigger, the first agent makes some decision and it does something on here, and then it will determine whether it's going to this agent or this agent. So it's going to go to on the right hand side on this one. So the reason that we need to do some revamp on this is because we realize the original chat interface of the agent, which is the current one that display in here. This one. This is the current version of the multi-agent that you already see. So this one is working, but it is a chat interface. So it is pretty hard to simulating the how multi-agent connect to each other and also trigger and so on. So that's why we were working on the revamped version of that. So it will have an entire timeline on the right hand side. So instead of like a chat thread with message back and forth, we will make it as a timeline so that whenever that you are looking at the agent, you can see how they interacting with each other when they call what, and it will having the better UI to showing the parallelism and so on. So because this is a new UI, so it is quite sort of rough comparing to the current chat interface, but eventually we will try to finish it by the end of the month in order to replace the current UI that you have in here. All right, so I think that's pretty much it for today. This is the new UI that we are currently working on for the multi-agent system. We are sort of like finished all of the backend work already, and also we received some of the bug fix from everyone as well. So we will continue to finalizing the multi-agent system, and hopefully that it will be available to everyone soon. Yeah, so I think we have a few minutes for a question. So Nava, yeah, you have some question? Insurance company require internal automation while ensure strict data privacy and stand agent can deploy on-premise. Yes, so we have that option. It's called AgenticFlow AWS. So this is enterprise edition of AgenticFlow. So what this is here is that it will have everything AgenticFlow have, and it is sitting in the cloud of the customer. So it will fully compliance to like security, privacy, because everything is in their cloud. So this is it will require you to gain the enterprise license of AgenticFlow. If you have that customer, you can have that. For multi-agent, you can go to AgenticFlow. Currently we are doing some. You can click on multi-agent. You can pre-order. Okay, this is here. MS. So we're still doing pre-order for the multi-agent system, and you can just using this one. For the customer that currently having tier 4, with multi-agent system, we have the ability to do some early pilot on testing, which is a UAT as of now. For other, we are anticipate that by the end of the month, we will open for all of the multi-agent system customer. Yeah, you can see it here. Yeah. So because you need to log in first, so your workspace must either have a tier 3 or tier 4 in order to upgrade on this one. And if you don't have that, for now, there's no way to upgrade. But maybe at the end of the month, we can adjust the tier a bit so that you can upgrade either from tier 1 or tier 2. So if you are interested, you can drop an email to support at agenticflow.ai. We can happy to help you to unlock this one. All right. I think we went through quite a bit of today. GoHighLevel MCP with MCP integration. We have growth and Kimi 2 on growth. We also introducing AgenticFlow MCP Server and also the agent mode with Mia Copilot. We're also having a new UI for workforce, as you can see already, and we have a better UI for chat, which is, I think right now we have not yet finished development. Everything we'll show you later on this. Yeah, so I think that there's some issue with the model itself. We have to verify that to see what happened. So sometimes the model, which is like GPT-4o, they are not following the instruction. So we will, normally what I will do is just switch to another model to see what is the problem. But I will definitely look back into the issue and see why the agent is not following the instruction. And if this is something that within AgenticFlow, I will fix that. But if it's not something that model AgenticFlow can handle, I will tell you in the group as well. Yeah, thanks, Michael. Yeah, so there's some other question. And when creating workflow, there's a trigger as a starting point, and the trigger ignore when a workflow is shared with agent. Yeah, correct. So the trigger in workflow is technically is just an optional step. So you can always submit. For example, like this workflow, daily Pokemon. You can either just trigger it as a form. Okay, so for example, this workflow, you can go in here and then you can choose story length, delivery method, and so on. And then you just click run. So that is what step of the user input. So this is serving for the purpose that you are like the normal input. In case that you don't want to go into AgenticFlow and then trigger that, then you can using another application to trigger via webhook or doing the schedule, repeat every day, every week at certain hour. So what it does is that it just trigger on behalf of you. So you don't need to trigger manually. It will just automatically trigger. Okay. And okay, next question. Can we run video creation using AI? Yes, of course. So I think what you can do is that you can, for example, like if you go into replicate.com. So replicate.com is kind of like an inference provider, and they have a partnership with a lot of like models. For example, like VO3. And this model from Google is very good at like creating video. And how can you creating this one with AgenticFlow? So you just need to go into AgenticFlow. You go into workflow, and then you new workflow, and you say test replicate VO3, and you create a new workflow. And in here, actually delete this action. You just new step, and you search for replicate, run replicate model. So in here, actually, you can add a connection to replicate. I don't have it here, but basically, if you have a connection, which is an API key from replicate, you can add connection. And for model, you just need to copy this one into here. And for the input parameter, you just go here. You go into JSON. And then you just copy this one. Copy. And then you paste here. That's it. And then when you have connection and you save, then you trigger this form. It will trigger to Google VO3 with this prompt. In case that you don't want to have this prompt as a hard-coded, you can using a convention to take, for example, like prompts like this. Save. So technically, it's telling this run replicate action, taking the input from here. This is text, not prompts. Okay, let me copy this one. I'm going here, and I'm just saying this one a text. And this workflow, what it does is that it was accepting a prompt from you in order to run a replicate model and create a video for you. And you can create different area on this part. And I have a YouTube video on this one. I suggest that you go into here and you go into video, you search for replicate. Yeah, so this is a good video. You can copy this one and paste on that. I will paste this video into our YouTube and also on our Discord. All right, next question. Volcano and sorry, because I think before we were sharing on the Discord. So any chance tier 3 and 4 user get a discount for enterprise? I was telling you like the enterprise edition is quite expensive. It is starting 50K per year. We are happy to work together with you in order to expanding this one. We can having our sales team and tech team in order to work together with you in order to sell that. And I think we can even like having some partnership structure. Depends on how we get into the customer and how is your contribution into that. Believe that we can do technology enablement, and you can do the sell or vice versa. I think we can structure your deal. If you have a customer that interested in our enterprise solution, we can talk together and we can structuring a deal on that part. Discount, yeah, we can talk about that as well. Even like we can help you to have a base price, and then you can doing some kinds of like margin off as long as your customer is willing to pay. I think we are happy to work together with you on that. All right. So apps. Okay. Next action is please also add URL option in input field. Actually, on this one, we allow you to quite flexible. So it means in this one, you can just configure text and you can just change its name into URL or whatever you like. There is no limitation. You can configure one is you just change URL, and this is URL. So basically, you can modify this one to anything, and then your customer, when they are seeing this one, is it going to be the URL, and then when you are sharing that as a kind of like embeddable shareable link, they will be able to see this as well. Yeah, I just copy this one. I open a new tab, and it here. So this is a form that I create. It hidden everything, and it follow my instruction. If there is a way to ever create a resource with input parameter tips and rules for non-coder, that would be useful. Yeah, that is something that is useful. So I'm going to have here. We have I think we have some. So in here you have the workflow and user input. You can click on this one, text input, long text input. And you can copy this one and then you paste